Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. It is Monday, so let's start the week off. We get another Magic the Gathering build, and it's going to be another red-white allies. It's mostly block. It's not 100%. I do use some cards from Tarker. That said, real quick, since it is red and white, we're going to have about, this should be 10 planes. Yeah, so 10 planes. 8 mountains. They're all there, I promise. And we are going to use 1 ally encampment. So out of our 60 cards, 19 are going to be land. Ally encampments, again, if I wasn't building my decks with no card share, this would be more, and I would just take away from the other ones. Tap, add colorless to mana pool, or tap, add 1 mana of any color to your pool. Spend this only for allies. Then 1 tap and then sacrifice it, return target ally you control to its owner's hand. And again, there were a couple of reasons why you would play that. Generally because there's like a lot of almost rallying type effects on occasion. So to start it off, with the creatures, we are going to run 2 Angelic Captains. It's going to be a 4/3 flyer on 5. Whenever it attacks, it gets +1/1 until the end of the turn for each other attacking ally. And again, if we play them both and play at the same time, they will count each other, but not themselves. So again, very, very good. Up next, we are going to have 2 Cliffside Lookouts. This is going to be a 1/1 on 1. And for 5 creatures you control, get +1/1 until the end of the turn. So it's a good little like buffer strategy. We are going to play 2 copies of the Fire Mantle Mage. This one does have rally, so whenever the Fire Mantle or another ally enter the battlefield, creatures you control gain menace until the end of the turn. And for those of you who aren't aware of what menace is, because again, a lot of us are Yu-Gi-Oh players on this channel, they got the nice reminder text for us. So a creature with menace has to be blocked by at least 2 or more creatures. So no single blocking when dealing with them. And that's a good reason to go ahead and, just go ahead and bump the ally encampment again. Because, 3, that's not a big cost. It's going to be 4 overall when you pay the cost to the ally encampment to bounce that. So, not too bad. 2 copies of the Goblin Freerunner. Cast on 4 for a 3/2. It's going to have Menace on its own. It also has Surge. So the Surge, you may cast this spell for its Surge cost if you or a teammate has cast another spell this turn. So as long as you played like another creature, like a cheap one, you can go ahead and you can play them for half cost and just really hit the field running. So that's really good. We do have a single copy of the Hero of Gomafada. This one does have rally, so again, whenever it or another ally enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain indestructible until the end of the turn. Again, bounce the smallest ally that you have with the encampment, and go ahead and make sure that you play it back so all your characters are indestructible that round. Next up, we got 2 copies of the Core Entanglers. Core Entanglers also have rally. Their rally says tap target creature an opponent controls when one of them comes into play. 2 copies Scythe Master. This is going to be a 3/1 on 3 with first strike as long as it's attacking. Meaning that if you were to block with this, it would just be a normal strike character. So the advantage here is to just always send this one flying at your opponent. Next, we have 1 copy of Munda, the Ambush Leader. Big bit of flavor as far as the effect is going to go. It is a 3/4 haste on 4, and his rally is pretty awesome. So the way it works for him, when rally, you may look at the top 4 cards of your library. If you do reveal any number of ally among them, then put those cards on the top of the library in any order and the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. So real quick, if you just wanted to reveal characters because they were good choices, keep those ones up there. Your opponent's going to know that's part of the cost, and everything else that you chose not to reveal goes back to the bottom. So again, maybe none of the 4 cards are something that you want to see. So put the whole stack of 4 at the bottom, don't reveal anything, and utilize his effect to better effects. So pretty good. We got 1 copy of his Vanguard. It's going to be 3/3 on 5. it is going to have cohorts. So tap this card, then tap and untap the ally that you control to place a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. So as long as you have 2 creatures doing this tap effect, you are going to build up your lines pretty well. Next, we're going to use the Ondu War Cleric. Again, this has cohort. This time, when we tap it, we'll gain, in the other character, we'll gain 2 life. It's just good. It's not the best. 1 Shatter Skull Recruit. This is an ally with Menace. It's going to be a 4/4 on 5. So he's pretty awesome. Plus, I love the way he looks. We have 1 Stonehaven Outfitter. The way this one's going to be is it's a 2/2 on 2. Equipped creatures you control get a +1/1. And whenever an equipped creature you control dies, you also get to draw a card. So again, fantastic. Stoneforge Acolyte. This is going to be another ally, 1/2 on 1. Cohort with the double tap. Tap him and tap another. Look at the top 4 of your library, revealing equipment among them. Put it in your hand. Place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. So again, not terrible. 2 copies of the Weapons Trainer. This is going to be a 3/2 on 2. Other creatures you control get +1/0 as long as you control an equipment. So the equipment just has to be on the field. It doesn't have to be equipped to anybody. You just have to control it. And he's going to give everybody 1/0. So not bad, actually. Moving into our spells, we're going to be using 2 copies of the Inspired Charge. This instant casts on 4. Creatures you control get a +2/+1 until the end of that round. Not bad. 2 copies, Smite the Monstrous. This is going to cast in on 4. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. So again, really good smite as far as the smite spells go. 2 copies of Sure Strike. And I'm starting to catch the joke, because for the most part, I played everything at 2. Target creature gets +3/0 and first strike until the end of the turn. Since it is an instant, we can go ahead and we can buff somebody on our opponent's turn during the attack rounds. And we can go ahead and buff them, get the first strike in, and actually take out somebody who's a bit tougher. That's not too bad. A couple of Tarker block cards. We do have some Temur Battle Rages. This instant plays on 2. Target creature gains double strike until the end of the turn, which means it gains both first and regular striking. Also has Ferocious. That creature will also gain trample until the end of the turn if you control a creature with power 4 or more. So again, not terrible. Lots of power. Last one, it's going to be our sorcery. It's going to be 2 copies, Barrage of Boulders. And the way this works is Barrage of Boulders deals 1 damage for each creature you don't control, or 1 to each creature you don't control. And then if you have Ferocious, creatures can't block that turn either. It basically stuns them all out. So even if the damage didn't take them out, they won't be able to block, so they're taken out of the round, which could be good to press the advantage. Now the rest of the deck is all equipment artifacts, and this is where it kind of gets fun. So we do have 3 Bone Saws. They cost nothing to put into play. They equip on 1 mana, and they give a +1/0. So again, not terrible, just quick and simple. We have 1 Chitinous Cloak, casts on 3, when equips on 3, and while equipped, the creature gains +2/2 and has Menace. So not that bad. We do have some Hedron Blades. We have a full play set of 4. They've cast on 1, equip on 2. Equipped creature will get a +1/+1. And whenever an equipped creature becomes blocked by 1 or more colorless creatures, it'll gain Death Touch until the end of the turn. Again, Eldrazi were very common at this point in the game. So this is more or less honed for that gameplay. And the last one we have is we have a copy of the Stoneforge Masterwork. This is going to cast on 1, equip on 2. Equipped creature gets +1/1 for each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. And this could be a lot, again, because of their allies. Generally speaking, you'll build up your army, you'll do what needs to be done, and then before the end of it, you will have characters just buffing each other, like the Vanguard. You'll have Munda going ahead and getting you to where you need to be, and then you'll go into Menace, or you'll make your characters unblockable. with that Barrage of Boulders spell. And you're just going to do some fun things. Now, it's kind of coming back to me that the reason I built this was we had a budget. And so, like, this isn't the ideal red-white ally. This is just a red-white ally that I've played in the past. And I do think this was during, like, our budget wars. I think we each had, like, $30 to build a deck. And I want to say, like, I built a structure or bought a structure and then bought some boosters and some singles. And we just built our decks that day. And then it just was what it was. So take this deck with a grain of salt. It is nowhere near being super powerful and broken. It's just a deck I've played. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it, and hopefully I get to see you guys on the next video, right? So till then, see you later, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.